Are you ready for some slow smoke, baby back ribs? Check out our episode.
Hi there, I'm Raymond Sosa, and this is Smokin' with Sosa. So, years ago, my family and I started putting together video reels so that our kids and our grandkids, years to come, will be able to reflect back on different events and activities that we had participated in. And we thought we'd take a similar approach with one of our family hobbies, and that's what we call smoking meat. So in these videos, you're going to see some backyard approaches to smoking some really good meat that we've absolutely enjoyed over the years. Now, I don't own a restaurant. I don't own my own business. I'm not trying to sell any type of barbecue sauces or seasonings. Matter of fact, I don't even allow a thermostat on my smoker. These videos are simply put together for others to enjoy and to try some of their own recipes. If you like the video, certainly please click the like, feel free to share, and have a blessed time enjoying smoked meat.
Baby back ribs.
Hey there, and welcome to the next episode of Smoking with Sosa. Hey, in this episode, we're actually going to go and we're going to smoke some baby back ribs. Now, these are an absolute delicacy. They're going to be falling off the bones. So let's get this party started.
Step number one is to clean your meat. You want to get all that nasty stuff off there so that your meat is ready to smoke and it'd be ready to eat. Step number two, get that membrane off. You're going to want to enjoy these ribs.
All right, in this next step, we're actually going to go ahead and season our meat. So I don't want to get into what seasoning you use. Everybody's got a different seasoning. We tend to like Montreal steak seasoning. It's very thick and a lot of flavor here. So ultimately, we're going to put, I like a lot of season on my meat. So we're going to season this thing real well. I'd like to say that you can't over season your meat, but we certainly put our fair share of flavor on this meat. It's going to go really well once we put some smoke on it and we get to eat it. All right, in this first rack of ribs here, I actually use mustard. There's a lot of great ingredients when broken down by the heat that works out well on these pork ribs. So ultimately, you're just going to take in and you're going to put you a nice little layer of mustard over the top here.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get to fast forwarding here. I think you get the idea. Ultimately, you're going to use whatever seasonings you like. I like to experiment with different types of ingredients, different types of brown sugars and spices. Ultimately, I put mustard on nearly every bit of pork that I smoke. It breaks down very nicely.
All right, on this second rack of ribs here, my wife tends to like the sweeter side of things, and so if you're looking for a sweeter tasting rack of ribs, there's really two things you can do. You could add a little bit more brown sugar into your rub, but what we actually like to do is we take a little bit of we like to take some grape jelly, and we'll put grape jelly on the top of these ribs, and we'll give it a nice little rub, rub it in there, and spread it out throughout the ribs.
All right, we'll get to fast forwarding here, but I think you get the gist. I like to try different types of jellies and jams and citrus marmalades, and try them with different types of woods and meats that I'm smoking. Certainly the type of meat that you're using combined with the different types of wood that you're using is going to provide different types of taste. So give a multitude of different tries here and see what you think. Next step here is to put the meat on the grill. As previously mentioned, I do not allow a thermostat on this grill, no type of temperature gauge. So generally speaking, you should smoke low and slow. We want to be around 225 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit to get your pit going. All right, so I'm coming out. Just take a quick peek at these ribs. Make sure we're good to go. No flipping the ribs. Because I use wood as my one and only heat source, I'm very mindful of the creosote taste. And this is that real smoky, kind of tarry chemical taste if you over smoke your meat. And certainly if you're smoking low and slow, it's going to be on the pit for a number of hours depending on the meat and the size of the meat or the amount of meat that you have on side your pit. So a lot of people will disagree with you. I've got family members that would disagree with putting meat in aluminum foil. They almost feel like this is cheating. However, because I really want to enjoy all the meats that I smoke and the amount of time and effort and that I put into quality smoking, I do utilize aluminum foil. You'll also notice that because I do like the sweetness in meat, specifically with my pork, I like to add about a quarter of a cup of apple juice and seal it inside of these meats. And as these meats sit in these heat, and again, slow and steady, it's going to provide the moisture these pork ribs need and make them that much more enjoyable. So it's up to you. Do you put them in aluminum foil? Do you not? I enjoy it that way, and so we'll continue to do it that way. All right, at this point, these ribs have been on the pit for a little over 3.5 hours. They were on the pit for a good 2.5 hours before they got put in the aluminum foil, and they've been in the aluminum foil for a good hour at this point. So nothing special here. We're going to unwrap the ribs, make sure that they're exposed back to the smoke. They are well cooked at this point. However, now we want to make sure that the smoke and the heat marbleizes the top of the seasonings. You'll see here in just a moment, I'm going to add some barbecue sauce. Now, I got to tell you, being a Texas barbecuer smoker that I am, it used to be an absolute sin for anybody to suggest that they were going to put barbecue sauce on my smoked meat. Now I don't take it as personal. My wife, my kids enjoy the barbecue sauce, and so we go with it.
All right, so these bayback ribs have just came out of the come off the smoker after about 4.5 hours, and they are looking yummy. I would have showed the video of them coming off the pit, but it is now dark outside, and we're ready to eat here. With that being said, as you recall, I did 3 racks of ribs. 1 rack of rib is rub and mustard only. The second rack of ribs, I did a rub and grape jelly over the top. And the third rack of ribs, I did a rub with mustard over the top, and then after at the very end of it smoking, I actually put barbecue sauce for it to put a nice little glaze over it. With that being said, I do not put a thermometer of any sort, any type of temperature gauge in my pit. So therefore, I have to go off visibility only to see if they're done. And as you can see here, the meat's pulled off the bone, and it is all set to go. Here's what we look like. If we can go ahead and zoom in here, cut a piece off here, and you can see that the meat inside of this bone, or excuse me, the meat on these ribs are set, and it's looking yummy. You can see the smoke lines inside there, and let's give this a shot. That's good. That's really good. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, backyard smoking. That's good. Backyard smoking with Raymond Sosa here. Give it a shot. Try it in your own backyard. If you like what you've seen today, leave a message, leave a like, and we look forward to seeing you next time smoking with Sosa. Enjoy it and be blessed. Thank you.